We're live now.
What up? What up?
What
What
up?
up?
Uh,
Everything
First
sounds
thing,
good on your end? I sound good?
yeah. Am I
Word.
am I echoing or anything?
Nah, you good.
A lot of times I have problems with echoes in these interviews.
Nah, I had that same issue yesterday my damn self. Like I had an interview up yesterday and like my whole mic was acting crazy. And then I had to switch it up to the mic I'm on right now and everything ended up being fine. But yeah, I had that same issue the other day. I don't know what was going on, but that's the technical difficulties that you gotta go through with dealing with this shit though.
Yeah. I mean, this is different for me interviewing you because every person I've already interviewed have been country rappers.
Word, I seen that she was into a lot of country, so I'm like, word. I wonder how a rap head gonna go with a country fan and somebody that talks to mostly country artists. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I just seen your uh podcast and I was like, oh, I wonder if that dude would come on my podcast.
Yeah, I'm always open, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm always open to hop on and chat with people, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, anyway.
Well, I wrote down like a few questions that I was going to ask you. You can take as long as you want to answer them. You got? Are you okay for being on here at least an hour?
Yeah, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once again, like, I'm on your platform to be on your time today. So, you know what I'm saying? An hour, however long, you know what I'm saying? We good.
Okay. My first question was. My first question is, like, what got you into doing reaction?
Uh Mainly my love of music, you know what I'm saying? Like I loved just listening to music a lot. I loved having conversations about music. I love just really just the engagement that music brings. So, you know, with the last year, because I started doing this last year around July. So getting me into it was watching channels like Stevie Knight, Screwface, Goat Worthy. Like those are just a few right there to mention. And at the time, to be honest, I didn't even see that being like reaction channels. I just saw it as people really just talking about music and just, having the engagement at that. And then I was like, well, shit, I'm having the same ideas and the same thoughts as these dudes. So I might as well just try to hop on and do it myself. And the thing before I did a podcast, did a reaction channel, I was in a podcast with a group of my friends a couple of times. So I already kind of had, I guess, what you would call the experience or whatever, getting into,
Yeah.
being online and being on camera and stuff. So it was just really just going through that. Now I just tried something different, which is, I like music and sports. So I just tried it with music at the end of the day. And I see that there's a niche for it. Here I am, just having fun with it.
Hold on just a minute. Did you ever think when you first started this that you would be as big as you are now?
Um, nah, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see me having this many subscribers at this amount of time. Like I was under the impression getting into this, you know what I'm saying, that it was gonna take a full year to get to even 5,000, you know what I'm saying, or 1,000. Like that was my impression doing it. And then, things kind of took off how it went. I discovered new music, and once again, I kind of went into this kind of just being like, all right, I'm gonna only react to Eminem. You know what I mean? I was gonna do Eminem music and everything else like that. And the timing was perfect for it too, because when I got into just kind of reacting to Eminem, I think Eminem had just dropped his album, like a week before or whatever I started, getting in reactions. So that was kind of like the perfect timing. And then just with that, I discovered newer artists like Jelly Roll, like White Gold, like Easy Mill. And then, it was just a trickle effect at that point once I started getting into it, because then you started building an audience. People started subscribing. People started recommending other music and shit like that. And they just piqued my openness to hearing new shit as well, too. So that was really what got me, as I would say, I guess, big as I am at this point right now, which for me, like 8,000 is cool. But I got bigger plans for it and everything as well, too. So, like, I appreciate you saying as big as I am right now and everything as well, too. So I appreciate that.
Uh, and feel free to ask me any questions you want. Um, my podcast is an open podcast. It don't.
All right, all right.
So,
I got you. I got you.
uh, how did you meet the like two girls one pod?
How did I meet two girls one pod, man? Like it's funny because I didn't met a bunch of people like doing this, and it's all been through just really the engagement of the channel. So I can't remember if it was through um like Adam Calhoun or Tom McDonald. I can't really remember. I just know that we just ended up engaging a lot in the comments, and then we ended up clicking up just on the DM side of things, and they had me on their podcast not too long ago, and then we just kind of started bonding ever since then. So I can't really pinpoint exactly when we started linking and everything, but I can get an idea. It was somewhere around those reactions and everything, and I can't even remember if it was when I started going live, because I think when I started going live was when we really started interacting and engaging as well too, because I wasn't doing lives for a while as well too. I was kind of just doing my reactions and putting them out and just engaging in the comments, because I also didn't have shit set up the right way for me to go live. Like I wasn't on StreamYard, I didn't have Streamlabs, I didn't have the proper equipment, so I was really just doing things off my phone for a little bit and just uploading. So I was learning along the way too.
That's how I'm starting off. Two girls one pod. They've Mel and them. They've been trying to get. They want me to get a computer where I can go live with them more.
Right, right. So how long you
Actually,
been
what?
now, how long you been potting for? Like when did you start your channel and everything?
I probably started. I think I started about 3 months ago.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
you fresh in the game. That's what's up.
Me and my cousin. Sorry, I'm gonna get into a whole nother story, but that's fine. We got time.
That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Good.
I didn't write down many questions because I really thought not really an interview. We could like just chill and talk and get to know
Yeah.
each other. Because I know how most I've learned from being on their podcast that most artists ain't don't it aggravates them when people ask them to do interviews. I know you're not an artist, uh, but no, my channel got started. Me and my cousin, which I was on YouTube before this channel got started.
Okay. What was your
Me
channel
and my
before that?
cousin, it was called M&C Hunting and Fishing.
Okay.
It's no longer a channel no more. Me and my cousin, we were filming outdoor videos. Uh, which my real name, I go by JC on the internet. My real name's Colt. Uh, and we were just filming outdoor videos. Like I'm big into hunting and stuff and
Okay.
everything. And we started we started doing that, and that channel growed pretty much. And then I was told my cousin, I said, I think I'm gonna start my own channel. And he was like, go for it. And now I started my own channel, and me and my cousin, he's got his own channel now. Well, there is the channel MC Hunting and Fishing is still there, but it's a
Right.
different name now. It's my cousin's gaming channel now.
So it went a whole different direction basically. I was gonna ask you, I was surprised like how come you didn't keep both of them going and kind of go between the two. But it looks like he went to a whole different direction with the gaming.
Because it didn't really. Me and my cousin did it for about 6, 7 months, and it wasn't going nowhere.
I mean, things take time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at things. Like things always take time depending on what you're doing. And 6 months, I feel
Yeah,
like is enough, not enough time to see if things is gonna
yeah.
build traction. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you got to give it that full, and then also got to see what your expectations are too. I feel like a lot of people go into it being like, all right, this should be a viral moment or this should do whatever number it is. But if you just kind of like go into it with just to watch it grow, excuse me, watch it grow mindset, I bet you it would have took off. It's just that you might have been a little impatient.
And another thing, the reason we decided to end that channel is because we were running out of content to film, and it wasn't really hunting season at that time.
Mm.
The channel didn't make it to hunting season. So all we were doing is like filming videos of us going to check our trail cameras, and we also started this series on that channel. It's where we've got a bunch of guns. We take pistols, go out there, we shoot them, target versus one, and see which one has the most higher caliber and stuff. We do that, and me and my cousin, we filmed. It was actually last October. We filmed a video. The video name is called Redneck Halloween.
Okay.
It's me and my cousin. We went to Pumpkin Patch, bought some pumpkins and some shotguns, and got our shotguns, and we were blowing up pumpkins. Yeah, and I'm so glad that when the Mel and them, I'm so glad they invited me up. They trying to help me out.
Word, they're good folks. I bangs with them. They're good people. They're good people for sure. They got me sleeping last time too, so you know I owe them one.
Yeah. Do you still feel like Tom McDonald?
You know, I actually just got over feeling like Tom McDonald. You know what I'm saying? I woke up feeling like Beto again. You know what I'm saying? It was a good week of some change where I was feeling like Tom McDonald when I woke up. But, you know, things have gotten back to normal a little bit. You know, I was definitely singing that song like random. Like, I woke up feeling like Tom McDonald or whatever. I was singing it for a little bit. They got me. It was cute. It was cute.
This is a question that I've always wondered. Have you ever thought about getting into music or doing any music of your own?
No. And I only say that because I've been there, done that already. Back when I was in like, you know, 18 to like probably 20, 23, somewhere around that ballpark. Yeah. I was doing my rapping thing, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to rap. And, you know, I was doing studio shit. I was in music videos. Like, I was doing a whole bunch of things in regards to the rapping side of it. And I put air quotes on rapping because I don't think I was any good, but I tried. You know what I mean? And I quickly knew that wasn't for me. And it's funny because the moment I knew it wasn't for me, and like, you know what I'm saying, I always, you know, it's a funny story about that. Like, I had played this rap song for my father, and my father, like, he don't listen to rap, so he's not even really into all the cussing and all that type of shit anyway. But at the time, you know, my father's honest too. So, like, you know, this is like kind of the moment where I knew, like, if I could cook, if I could rap, if I could play ball. Like, there was a lot of moments in my life where I would go to my dad and, like, you know, let me see if this is real. And I played him a rap song, and this dude didn't nod his head. He didn't do anything besides ask, "Is this you?" And you know, asking that versus like anything else, and like the way he asked it, I was like, "Oh, he think this shit trash." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "What's all this cussing and shit?" I was like, "Hey man, that's just how I rap." He's like, "You don't like it and shit." Well, he didn't say I suck, but he still heard rap music, and the fact that it didn't get him going in any sort of way, I was like, all right, this might not be for me. So I left that alone for a little bit. And like, you know, I just decided to be, not decided, but because I listen to so much music and shit like that, I just love talking about it. I love breaking down the bars a little bit and just doing all of that. But yeah, rapping, never again, you know what I'm saying? That came when I'll do cameos and videos and shit like that, but I won't really be, you know, on the mic or in the booth like that. You know, that's not my skill set anymore. And I'm a ball player too. And if you don't know, you know, the ball players want to be the rappers and the rappers want to be the ball players. And I'm the ball player that wanted to be a rapper. So you can see how that's going to go.
Where did you come up with your YouTube name, Uncle Beto?
So my YouTube name is actually something that people call me in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't even really make up the name. It was something that kind of had stuck with me for about, let's see, about almost 20 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? That was a name that a couple of my friends had, you know, given me and called me for a little bit. And I just kind of took it and ran with it. It's been multiple names of multiple variations of the name Beto. It's been like Uncle Beto, Father Beto, Mr. Beto was like I think the first time I tried to play with it a little bit. And this is just with like Instagram names and handles like that. But nah, I've been going by Beto for a little bit. So I just took that name and just applied it to this, and it's not really taking a name or anything. It's just one of those like that's kind of what I go by in real life. So I just took it here to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Who is your inspiration? Who's inspiring you to keep going?
Who inspires me to keep going?
Yeah.
My pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, like if there's any motivation, you know, my pops is no longer here with me right now. So it's like, you know, it's one of those. I just whatever I do, I just try to make sure to keep him proud and keep him happy. You know what I'm saying? Watch it from above and shit because, you know, that's who I always looked up to as being like an honorable dude, a stand-up dude, and that's kind of how I've always built my character and, you know, stood on my models for that, you know what I'm saying, being that type of person. So that's who keeps me going, to be honest with you. It's like, you know, I don't stop doing what I'm doing. I don't get down for him, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not how he was, you know what I'm saying? He was a strong individual and everything. So that's really my inspiration is just really my pops, man.
Well, I want to go back to when you asked me how long have I been doing YouTube. I haven't I haven't been doing a podcast very long.
Uh-huh.
Probably started podcast about a month, probably 2 months ago. I was like, I want to see how this turns out. And when I first started it, my thing was not to just interview country rappers.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the people I could get a hold of.
Right.
I actually got a few country artists that I'm working on getting up here. Like Colt. I don't know if you know who Colt Montgomery is.
So I ain't gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with a lot of country artists. Like through the channel, I've been getting put on to like artists such as like Struggle Jennings and you know, folks like that. And I don't even think there's really any other country singers that have been recommended through the channel like that. Maybe some other like random songs that have been out there, but I'm not too familiar with a lot of artists. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know songs, but I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with artists by names and stuff like that.
Uh. So is like Beto? Is it your last name or what?
It's just like a
Or is it just
nickname,
a
you know what
nick?
I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. It's I think from what I can remember when it first was brought to my attention, so to say, or given to me, I think we was going like I hang around a lot of Spanish people and stuff too. So, you know, when I was
Yeah.
hanging around with them and everything, they was calling me Rabito. You know what I'm saying? And that was just too much to say. So then we ended up just like shortening it down to just Beto. And that's just kind of what it's been riding with since I want to say probably about 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Ever since then.
Then did you this is a question I asked just about any other people on here, artists and everybody. Uh what other opportunities would you want to explore more than YouTube? Is there anything else you would like to do? Like,
Um, Outside of YouTube, I mean, I would like to eventually like, you know, build this space, you know what I'm saying, outside of YouTube as something where I have a platform where I'm able to just have hip hop conversations, talk hip hop, also be somebody who highlights people within the community as well too. So like I kind of want to be that baseline and that advocate for people that can be represented in the city that might not often get highlighted on bigger spaces, bigger platforms, and so on and so on. So I'm looking to be just kind of like I wouldn't say media personnel, but I guess that's what you can stand on right now. You know what I mean? I kind of want to get into that space. So YouTube is like the stepping stone for that. Um, and it's not saying anything about industry or nothing like that, but it's more or less like goes back to what I've said. I love music. I love talking sports. I love just having conversations and chatting with people. So I want to take it to like a space where it's a show damn near, you know what I'm saying, and just building off of that. So hopefully it can go beyond YouTube and everything. And outside of YouTube, like just in my personal life, like I want to get into real estate and build off of that and build an empire or build a business or a brand off of that. But in terms of just this content space and doing all of that, because I think there's 24 hours in a day and there's a lot that we can do. So that's just kind of the directions and everything that I'm trying to go with what I'm trying to build here.
What would be what advice would you give me on doing YouTube?
I would say, and this goes based off of just hearing how you build your other channel and start with your other channel. The main thing is patience. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is just being patient with whatever the outcome is. You know what I'm saying? Things just don't happen at the snap of a finger. You know what I mean? So just understanding that sometimes the numbers might not be what you want or expect them to be, but still pushing on, being consistent, being yourself. You know what I mean? Being yourself is big in these spaces. Like, a lot of people, and I wouldn't say it's big. I think a lot of people build a character or do certain things to get to a certain height. And that's no knock against anybody who does that. But if you have something that you stand on and a model that you're on, stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Because the internet's a large place. There's billions of people out this motherfucker. So there's going to be a lot of people that's going to relate and lean towards what you stand on. And you don't have to sucker down or bend the knee to what the society norm is or what people may normally do online to get off, because you're going to see things around you and see growth all around you with people doing things that you'll be like, damn, how come I can't get there? You kind of can't pay attention to that in that regard. Always pay attention to your competition, but never compare it in a way where you feel like you're at an arms race or playing catch up and stuff like that, because then you can get caught into losing yourself and doing something that may be out of your character. And it may help you in in the short term when you get the views, you get the clicks, you get the subs, whatever. But at some point you may start losing yourself because you'll get used to those numbers. So I just always say, just staying to yourself and being yourself, man. Staying true to your character and what you believe in. To simplify.
Oh, you weren't finished talking, were you?
Mm-mm. You good?
The only reason I've got as many subscribers as I got now is because
if you don't mind me
I've
asking, what's your subscriber count right now?
214.
Okay, that's really not that bad. And you started like 2-3 months ago. That's really not that bad. And it's like, do you just react, or you do you just podcast, or you do reactions as well too?
I do. I just started doing reactions lately.
Okay.
But I don't have a computer, so I'm just filming them like on a tablet.
I mean, dog, you know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, to start things off, man, everybody wants to have the big fancy look good equipment and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now, I started with stock shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started with just my speakers, the laptop. So it don't matter about your equipment. It matters about what you talking about and the content that you putting out there. So never worry about that until the time is right.
Just like there's a guy that the reason I've got as many subscribers as I do, there's two reasons. One, I would go into people's lives. I'd go into people's lives like other podcasters I watch. I'd go in there, just start a conversation. And
Right.
eventually it would go to, hey, do you have a channel? And I'd be like, yeah. And they would check it out and subscribe to them. So I got a lot of artists that are subscribed to me, like Hard
Oh,
Target and all of them.
so
Yeah.
like with your podcast space, because I'll ask you a couple of questions as well too. So like with you starting a podcast space and everything, like what's your general idea with getting into the podcast space? Like what's your target audience? Like what's your goal out of doing a podcast? Like what do you look to do? What do you look to make out of your podcast space?
Uh, that first question, my target audience is mostly country rappers, and I want to try to get more than country rappers on here. I don't want to just focus on country rappers. I want to help, and I also want to help like other channels grow because I've got a couple other people that I have coming up here. They're small channels, and I just want to help them grow. Just to say I've helped somebody.
That's dope. That's dope.
Um, but the and then there's this podcaster I watch all the time, and I support. I'm a big Upchurch fan. I To be honest, I don't talk about this a lot on the internet because it's the past. But when I first started, I was me and a guy got into it on YouTube. And do you know who Dagburn is?
I'm not too familiar with a lot of people on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of, the people that I connect with is, the people that I genuinely connect with. And I'm like, all right, bang. And it's one of those like word of mouth or people recommend them to me and then we connect or whatever. But I'm one of those people that I definitely came into this like I'm just gonna do me and like keep my head down and just who I connect with, who I'm gonna connect with. But I've never really like seeked out anybody or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing I don't like about YouTube is I'm afraid if I meet I don't know where all my fans are. I'm afraid if I like go out in public and meet one of my fans, then I'm not gonna be the same as I am on camera. That's what I'm always afraid of.
What do you mean by that?
Like I try to act myself on camera, but I don't know where I'm going with this.
Because I mean, here's the thing: it's like who you are on camera is you, right? So it's like if
Yeah,
somebody was to meet you in person, it's not like you should be any different. It's like they meeting you in person. It's like, oh, what's up? That's what's up. They want to take a flick, you
yeah,
take a flick. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing much that you need to really be doing outside of that, unless like you just really being one person online, and then you ain't really, and then you don't really fuck with your fans or something like that. So it's like you still being you. You just gotta, you know, say what's up. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, that's really it.
And the reason I've got all these subscribers is because I've took uh actually it's the guy that I was beefing with before when I started. That's the past. Me and him still talk, and I took his advice. He was like, "Well, if you keep posting, people comment. Don't just leave their comment. You got to
Yeah, always engage.
interact."
Yeah, engagement is important, especially when you starting off. Like, not even when you starting off. I think even in general, like the more like obviously you can't get to every single comment and you can't like respond with actual words every single time, but as you're growing and doing it, those people that comment at first, you know what I'm saying, you always got to respond to those because you know nobody's bigger than the comments. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people get to a certain stature or a certain level and they start being like, oh, I'm too good for this or I'm too big for that or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once again, excuse me, this thing fills the ego. You know what I'm saying? This thing always fills the ego. And for some people, when they reach a certain number or a certain plateau, they start, people start feeling themselves. And that's just natural. You know what I'm saying? With more attention comes that. But if you true to your character, it always goes back to just being true to your character and who you are. And if you are always true to that, none of that stuff should phase you. Like, you're still going to respond to comments. You're still going to be treating people how you would treat them in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like with anybody. The same way you treat a custodian is going to be the same way you treat a rich motherfucker that you meet and shit. What's up, dog?
Yeah. Is that your cat?
Yeah, moving around today. I don't know what's going on, moving all over the place today, but
Hey,
she always part of the show.
at least you ain't peeing on your cat like Damo did.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Okay.
That shit was crazy, man.
Yeah. I was in his live the other day. He was doing something, and he was like, he was calling everybody that commented. He was calling them racist and everything.
Mhm.
That bro funny though. Have you said uh this is just like a little simple question. What who's your favorite rapper to listen to?
My favorite rapper to listen to.
Let me guess, Tom McDonald?
I love going to sleep to Tom McDonald. Let's see. My favorite rapper to listen to. That's actually a tough question because it all depends on my mood. It depends on it depends on a lot. But if I was to just say off the top of my head, my favorite rapper to actually listen to, and I'm gonna say this because I feel like I don't even listen to him as much right now, but if I want to go to it and feel like, in a good space, I'm gonna say Fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, if you was to ask
Uh
me who's my favorite rapper of all time, that would be Eminem. That's an easy one. But my favorite rapper to listen to is a hard one because honestly, I listen to so many rappers. That's why I think that's actually a tough question because I really listen to so many rappers, dog, that I don't have like a favorite rapper to listen to. I have like mood music and mood rappers and shit like that. So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't actually I take that back. I don't have a favorite rapper. I just listen to so many that like I don't have a one person. It goes back into it depends on the mood, it depends on the setting, it depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Then I go off of that. But I listen to so many rappers, dog, that I don't think I have one.
what what's the biggest lesson you've learned in like the YouTube community?
Biggest lesson I've learned? Like what do you mean?
Like is there anything that you've done in your videos and stuff that you would take back?
That I would take
That you
back?
now.
Uh I want any video that I've done, I wouldn't say I'd take back anything. So I don't think there's like a lesson I've learned in regards
Yeah.
to that. Because I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of shit that I'm learning going through the YouTube process. Like, I mean, as you know, right now, it seems to be this war on the reactor space right now between reactors putting out videos and everything else right now. So I guess the one thing I've learned or I'm learning in YouTube is that it's kind of like you don't know what's really accurate until you may experience it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that people will say on YouTube or do on YouTube or experience on YouTube that a handful of other people might not experience. And when I say that, it's like there's always more to the story than what's being presented. So I think I learned not to just be reactive. You know what I'm saying? I think I learned not to be so reactive on things that may be affecting other people and it's being put out there on a large scale where it seems like it's affecting everyone. Because once again, going back to the whole UMG thing, there's so many questions I got towards for it that aren't being answered because nobody has the real answers. It's just that people are saying that they're experiencing this. And I'm a person that kind of logically goes through things and I'm like, well, if the common denominator is that we're putting appeals in and we're doing all of this, I feel like in the fine print it says that these are the results of these things if you're doing that. Now, for me, as somebody who hasn't appealed or disputed anything, I just get the red money sign or the green one or the yellow one, right? And I
Yeah.
don't I don't say anything about it. I'm just like whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't have the experience of these of the other channels because I haven't disputed anything. And I don't think anybody's mentioning what's happening when you dispute the claims and what the rules and the regulations are when you dispute these claims. And that's the only thing for me. Like I'm fully supportive of it, but I'm just not reactive to it because I think there's a lot more that a lot of us don't understand. So if I don't understand something, I go figure out and find out. But I don't get reactive. So that's to not be all long winded because I think that's where I'm going with it right now. Is that I'm learning not to be reactive towards things that may be thrown in my direction.
Uh what's next? What's next for your channel?
What's next for it? what you kind of see now? The podcast stuff, you know what I mean? The Beatles Couch Potato podcast thing that I've been trying to grow. I've been playing with that for a little bit as well too, like when I did my Celtics talks in the beginning and everything as well. So I've been playing with that for a little bit, but I think I finally found something with that because similar to you, I've been trying to, get interviews with rappers, interviews with artists in general, interviews with, people in the community that do stuff, for the youth and for sports and just around my city. Like I'm trying to do a whole podcast space for that where it's just conversations, you know what I'm saying? Where like what we're doing right now, we're just politicking and having a conversation. And I'm looking to, do that same thing. I had an episode, as you seen yesterday, with my man who's a DJ. And I have to redo that episode because there was something wrong with my mic and like nobody could hear anything that I was saying. So we're rescheduling that one. But I got one going with that. I've been trying to get a couple of, hip hop legends to hop on the space, man. I've been trying to chat with Shoe Gang. So I've been just trying to make the podcast space where bringing back the essence of talking about hip hop and educating people about hip hop while having hip hop conversations, because I feel like that's missing in the YouTube space a little bit, So I'm just looking to do that and bring authenticity to it. I don't present much besides myself when I'm on this space and just being me and just having these conversations and just enjoying the conversation, you know what I mean? And just being authentic about it. That's just how it is for me.
They talk about this a lot. What do you have a backup plan in just in case YouTube goes down or like that?
I mean, I work full time. You know what I'm saying? I work full time. So, this is all part of my hobby and part of my fun. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another thing. Like, I'm not in it. Like, obviously, the monetization and the money and all that's cool and great. But I'm not into this space for the money. And like, yes, the money's cool, but I do this because I genuinely love music. You know what I'm saying? I love having a conversation about music. So if YouTube was to go down, I'd still be fucking talking about music on another platform or amongst my friends or just amongst people that I know and shit. And I'll just be living my life and doing my regular job and getting more focused on the real estate shit and everything else. But if YouTube or the social media shit was to go down, I'm still me at the end of the day. I'm still going to be me. This doesn't define my character or how I operate in real life and everything. So there's no backup plan because YouTube's not even my full time. You know what I'm saying? YouTube's not even my part time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't like my honest opinion. I don't like the YouTubers that try to make a career out of it. My honest opinion, I think it's wrong.
In what way?
To make a career out of just filming videos.
Elaborate.
Like, what I'm trying to say is like a lot of them don't think about the question I just asked you. Like, they don't think about what if YouTube went down. Because if YouTube goes down, then they lose everything.
I mean, for example, like I guess I can see what you're saying. Like for certain people that may be going through it, being like they might delete my channel and oh my god, blah 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 blah. You talking about in regards to that? People that feel like if their channel is deleted, like it's the end and all that. Well, I agree and disagree with you on that because you got to think about it. This is people's livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Social media has given outlets for people to do this. So I agree and disagree because to your point, people do got to have a backup plan. But I'm not going to knock how anybody's getting their money and how they're making a career out of it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's an easy way to make a career out of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't knock that, you know what I mean? It's just always have a backup plan or don't give up everything just because this is happening. Because once again, the internet is a large place, but it's a very volatile thing because the rules can change. And that's what we're experiencing with reaction channels. Like, the rules are changing. People are, not used to how these rules, because once again, we're just little men on the totem pole playing against a bigger game here. And like, yes, fighting for it and all that is great. But I'm like, there's a bigger picture that I think people are missing in regards to this. And I think it's one of those, the rules are going to change. Whatever's going on, the rules are definitely changing. But going back to, I also don't have the full story. It's like, there's certain things that certain channels may be doing that I'm not doing, which is also why you're getting these experiences. So there's so many other things about that. but I agree and disagree with
Yeah.
your statement.
Can you tell me a little bit of how you grew up and how you were raised and stuff?
Oh, we getting personal, huh? No, I was just,
You don't have to answer.
no, I'm not gonna give like a whole like I know what I can and can't give if I want to give it up like that. But nah, that's a good question. I
Yeah.
appreciate it though, for real, for real. I mean, I was just a kid, man, born and raised in Boston, man, you know what I'm saying, in the South End. I ended up going to school out in the suburbs, man, out in new public schools, which, gave me a very different and diverse look of life when I, dealt with, growing up. So I went to school with, white kids, obviously black kids, but more white kids, fucking black Middle Eastern kids. Like, it was a very diverse type of school setting that I was in. So I was able to kind of learn the way of the world, so to say, with that experience. I was, raised obviously by my moms and my pops and everything. They were separated, but born and raised by both of them and everything. Just, was a kid growing up in the inner city, man, and just also had the experience of being in the burbs. So I always felt like I had just a very open mind and very different outlook on how a lot of people may view the world, because people are often very sheltered or raised in a very different situation than most people are. You know what I'm saying? That goes for people across the world. So, that's just a little insight on me. And I think that's what helps me get into, the music that I listen to, the spaces that I'm in and everything, and just being open minded about even things that I don't even agree about. You know what I'm saying? So those experiences early in childhood kind of shape how I treat things as an adult. You know what I mean? Because I was able to recognize that type of thing early on in life and take those things and apply it to my everyday.
Hey, what up, Damo? What up?
What up, Doe? What's poppin', Doe?
Uh, my other question was Damo done got me off track. Um, was good. Hey, you can come if you want to, Damo. You can come up.
If Dom will come on, I'm gonna leave in
Uh,
like 5 minutes because that's what he does to me.
he said I invited him, but he said he was busy, so I don't know at first. Uh, do you watch like a lot of TV?
Here and there, I used to watch a lot of TV. Now the TV's just on. It should just be on in the background. So if I am watching it, it's just sports or some old ass movie that I've seen 15 times. But TV in general, man, I haven't really watched TV in probably like 6, 7 years. You know what I mean? Probably when TV series stopped being good.
Yeah. What is your hold on. What is your what was I trying to say? Oh, you're not at the crib. What do you want your viewers to see in your videos? What do you
And
want them to see in you?
my fault.
What do
Say
you
that
want
again.
them? No, hold on.
Breaking up.
What do you what do you want them to get out of your reaction video?
Okay. I mean, just my input, my insight, my knowledge on the music, my vibe, my energy. Just a space where you can voice your opinion about the music, even if you don't agree with what I'm saying. So just an open, an open field, so to say. And I don't think that's the right way I want to say it, but that's what we stick with right now. But an open space for people to just engage about music and talk music, man. So I might be off about how I reacted about a video or the idea of the video, my perception or perspective of the video, but that's what the comment section is for, and that's the space that I provide. And outside of that, what you gonna get is me. You know what I'm saying? So you can come to the channel and want something else, but I don't, like, not to say I don't give a fuck what you want. But it goes back to like, if you expect me to be somebody that I'm not, that's just not what you're gonna get when you come to watch a reaction with me. Like, you're gonna sometimes get a reactive video where, you know, I'm commenting about the video and actually talking about the song and all this. And then some days I'm not in the mood for all that shit. I just want to vibe and listen to the music, and then I might point out certain shit that happened in the music video or the song. Because I say that, and it's funny that you asked that, because somebody had actually commented on one of my videos, I think. And this was like somebody who's, it's like a, you know, I call these people those habitual hater comments, where it's like you don't really come to really watch what I said, because the questions are how you commented clearly show that you didn't watch what I said, but they asked pretty much what you asked, and it was like, he pretty much was like, do you even like watch the video or something like that? And I was like, let me just watch what the fuck he talking about. And I was like, bro, like, I clearly talked about the video, and it was a simple ass video, so there wasn't much to really talk about in the video itself. It was just a vibe song. You know what I'm saying? So I just go, it's okay that you don't like how I reacted, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really here for you to like it or dislike it. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, that's what's up. But if you dislike it, I'm not here to change anything about how you're gonna take it. You know what I mean? So
would you ever be in a movie or anything?
yeah, absolutely. Shit. Hell yeah. Can I act my way out of a paper bag? I don't know. But would I be in a movie? Yes. Would I like a cameo and shit? Absolutely. Like, I love being in the mix. You know what I mean? I love being
What
in the
kind
mix.
of what kind of what kind of character do you think you would play in a movie?
That's a good question. Damn. That got me thinking right now, because I never thought about this. So I would probably be the guy that's like a player, or getting all the girls, or, you know what I'm saying, in a rom-com, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be something that's revolving myself around females and being around females. It would be any sort of character like that. Or I could play the drug dealer. You know what I mean? I could play the criminal a little bit. I know that might be stereotypical. Wow, I can't even talk right now. Stereotypical right now, but you know, it is what it is. Like, that's just, you know, based off of how I've watched movies and characters, I'd be like, oh, I can definitely do that. Like, yeah, I would say all of those characters for sure. And I'd be in a horror flick, and I wouldn't be the first to go, because in my horror movie, the black guy ain't dying first.
How do you how Adamo asks how do you feel about Yankees being better than the Red Sox?
My honest opinion, I don't give a fuck about no baseball. But in terms of New York sports and shit like that, ever since the Knicks beat the Celtics and they was out here running around acting crazy, it's fuck all New York sports right now. So it is what it is. But the Red Sox, here's my thing with the Red Sox and Yankees, right? I've always recognized that organization, and when I say that organization, meaning the Red Sox, has never really been about winning like the Yankees organization has, in terms of sports and, like, you know, being competitive. Like, they have their moments. The Red Sox never want to pay their guys. Red Sox always doing some bullshit. So in that regard, I could care less, because the Red Sox never want to do what they need to do. And that kind of goes for New England sports on the low. But yeah, it is what it is. Fuck them though.
Sorry, I was reading some of the comments.
Nah, you good.
We got. I usually get about 30 people in here. We ain't got that many people in here today.
Because nobody know who I am, dog. I'm just little old B2 on the couch. I be trying to tell y'all this. I'm just little old B2 on the couch, man. Just, you know, trying to make it out here in this internet world, B. They're like, who the fuck is B2, man? We don't know this motherfucker. They gonna know me, though. They gonna know my name soon.
Soon, yeah. To be honest, you kind of remind me of Snoop Dogg a lot.
That's funny. I've been getting that in my comments, man, since I've like started the channel. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it, but I'll take it. You know what I mean? I just be like, you know, I heard a few, like Cat Williams. It'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Snoop, I don't understand, but I can see it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I rock with it, man.
Bye, Damo.
Peace out, Joe. I used to get Future a lot before he cut his hair.
Yeah.
So those are a few people I've
Uh,
got.
I want to ask you a little bit about your podcast.
All right.
Your podcast is called Couch Potato. Where did you get that name from?
Just trying to
How did
work
you
through
come
it. How'd I come up with it, man? It was just working through the names, man. Like I had Couch Gang, just playing with it. To be honest with you, it was one of those like, how do I get a concept that kind of makes sense? Because what do people do when they're on the couch all day? You call them a couch potato. You know what I'm saying? So I took that concept and was like, all right, well, since I'm on the couch all day, well, not all day, but since I'm on the couch doing this all the time and we're chatting and I'm listening to music for hours on end, I might as well call this the Couch Potato Podcast, where I'm on the couch just having conversations. And the also part of it is like, when you're at the crib, when you're hanging out with your peoples, what are y'all normally doing when y'all having conversations? If you're not on the porch outside around the fire or whatever, drinking beer, you're in the basement, chilling on the couch, having conversations and shit. So I just kind of took all those concepts and just thought about what I was doing back in the day and how conversations would have be right on the fucking couch. So all those things kind of played into the simple name of Couch Potato Podcast, I guess. It worked itself out. Like I was playing with it for a little bit, but it just made sense. Plus, the couch almost looks like a sack of fucking potatoes. So,
uh, the podcast? What kind of people do you want to interview in it?
any and everybody, to be honest with you, man. Like my podcast that I look to do, because like I even came into doing reaction channels came into doing this reaction channel, being like at some point, y'all are gonna see me interviewing the artists, interviewing the video girls, interviewing just ball player, anybody. Like I came into this with that plan in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole
Yeah.
plan was to do all of that. Like it's any and everybody, adult entertainers, you know what I'm saying? The video vixens, the artists, sports folks, regular common folks. As conversations would be to on the couch. So that's any and everybody can have a conversation.
Do you ask them questions and stuff on there?
Yeah, I mean, when I run it like an interview and like a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I start off with questions, obviously, to like break the ice and go back and forth with that person, and then once that kind of goes into it, we might break off or some other shit that happens, and then go back in. It goes back to just it starts off as an interview, but you end up really just chopping it up and shooting the shit, and then you kind of keep it around that. And like I don't interview people. Like this is my first like time getting into like the interview chatting space, so it's all new to me as well too. Like I think I've done 4 complete episodes. I did 5, but we ain't gonna count yesterday's episode. So I've done 4 episodes already where I've had these conversations. I've done it with Simple Man. I've done it with my man Tariq. I've done it with Ray Vibes. I've done it with Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? I've got a couple of other ones lined up in the next couple of weeks. So we moving and rolling with that. Like that's something that I like to do too, because obviously if I'm reacting to listen to the music, it gives me more to like get into when I chat with the artist. But I don't even need to listen to a lot of people's music to have the hip hop conversation that I've intended to have. Excuse me.
Yeah.
When I get into the podcast space. So
Is this your first interview?
nah, actually, this is like my 3rd or 4th, I think. It was like my 3rd or 4th one. I've done one with yourself. I've done one with Archie as well. I've done one with Goat. And I think I was on with 2 Girls, 1 Pod too. But I don't know if that was more of an interview versus like we just was chopping it up. But I've ventured off into other spaces and other people's platforms already. So this ain't nothing new now. This is clockwork now. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's also fun too. So
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I've been trying to get in contact with like Moses Creek and Simple Man.
okay. I see. I can't see why Superman wouldn't get back to you though. You know what I'm saying? Superman's a good interview too. He's a good dude. I bang with Superman. I think I was on with Two Girls One Pod when I was with them with Superman and Hard Target, and then I had my interview with Superman about 2-3 weeks ago as well too. It was a good interview if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I got a couple YouTubers. I got a couple YouTubers I'm working on getting up there too.
Nice, nice, nice.
I've got some scheduled right now that I haven't announced yet.
As you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? That when the time is right, that's when you announce the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said too, I got a few, but I ain't announcing them yet. I usually announce when it be like the day before or 2 days before or something like that. Because once again, anything could happen too. So I don't want to be putting out things out there and then something like yesterday, I put something out there and then I got to delete the motherfucking shit because the shit happened, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So I have to reschedule it. So
To be honest, I, I'm gonna say one of the interviews I got lined up is a pretty big artist.
okay,
That's all I'm gonna say.
that's dope. That's dope. When,
For,
I can't wait to tune into it. When's it
I mean,
happening?
I don't know yet. It
Oh,
ain't
okay, okay.
officially scheduled
All right.
because every time I give them a day, they're busy, and then every time they give me a day, I'm busy.
So y'all just gotta get in sync. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And it be like that too. Like when I've tried to set shit up with people, I've already known like, all right, like it ain't like it's necessarily gonna really be on your time or your schedule because these people be doing a whole lot of other shit that's going on because they're the artists at the end of the day too. So they got mad shit going on.
Yeah. Do you care if I run to the restroom real quick?
Like while I'm talking to you, you're just gonna walk away from the camera.
No, I mean like
No, I'm playing. I know. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, I'll wait, man. You good?
I'll be right back.
Oh, yo, you bring the tablet with me, man. I hope you go, take a walk with me.
I'm back. I thought you were just gonna fall asleep on my stream.
Nah. I didn't drink enough yet. We sober right now too. We sober. Smoothies and water today.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. Unless you got anything you want to ask me.
That's all you got for me. I mean, shit. I will ask you: do you, when you get your stuff right, like, what do you try to improve when you do your set, like your podcast and everything like that? What do you look to improve? Because I know you mentioned that you didn't have a computer and all the other stuff, but have you looked into the other things that you could do to just improve the basic stuff that you needed? Has anybody recommended those things for you?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
So like
Like, I don't get it.
when you set up, right? And it's all a work in progress, but for the main part, it's about your picture and where you're at and your lighting. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need the craziest equipments and situations for that. So you always want to make sure your picture's straight and your lighting's straight. Like next time you do it, make sure that you don't have the light behind you blinding what's going on in your focus in your picture, because you still want people to focus on you and everything. You know what I'm saying? So like little
Yeah.
stuff like that, just the lighting and just and do you normally sit here when you do it, or do you have a consistent place?
Yeah, I normally sit in there, but I'm sitting here because the lighting is bad in
Okay, so you got to, the main things I would say, because everybody always say here's what you can do, and sometimes they don't tell you, and then like you be playing the guessing game and shit like that. But just just make sure you got a consistent setting. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got a consistent, like the lighting ain't got to be the best lighting. Just get the lighting where you right where we can see you. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be seeing the most of the time and everything. Because like when I was going through it, dog, it was lighting, audio. You know what I'm saying? I think I had like the triple threat. You feel me? Like I had everything, and I had to learn that as I went along, and then my thumbnails on top of that, so nothing was right as I went along. I had really nobody to tell me. You know what I'm saying? I think my comments told me, like some people, my comments would go off and shit, and then that's how I learned was through the comments and stuff. But like, yeah, you always, because when you do like that, I get blinded by your lighting and shit like that too. Like it fucks me up. So it's like you just want to always make sure the lighting and just your focus is always going to be good on you for starters. And you don't need crazy equipment or anything like that. You just got to find a spot with the lighting, and that's it.
there. Yeah, a thing about that thing, what you just said, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, like the thumbnails and stuff. How do you make them? Like, what app do you use to make them?
So I use Canva or Canvas or whatever. That's all I use for the thumbnails. And then, as I've learned along the way, and my thumbnail still ain't the best, but simple, simple and short is the best way to start your thumbnail. So whatever the focus is, just make that the main thumbnail, and then put your face and whatever your leading caption is. That's as simple as you need it. Like I know when I first started this shit, man, I had my thumbnails all over the place. If you ever want to have a moment and go back to my beginning videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it even in some of my thumbnails now, because like I said, I don't even think my thumbnails are the best, because I don't use AI either too. Like I don't AI my thumbnails. It's just, once again, it's all me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get fresh meat, all that shit like that. And I could probably find a way to clean it, but I'll figure that out as it goes along. I think the thumbnails is fine for now, but everybody's shit is different. But that's what you want to use is the Canvas app.
Uh, yeah, like the thumbnails. How do you get a picture to do the thumbnail? Do you just take it out of the video, or
It's Google whatever. Like if I'm like if I got a Adam Calhoun song that I did, excuse me, and I whatever that song is. So like I don't know what song he recently came out with, Gorillas, right? If I just did a Gorillas reaction, I'd Google Adam Calhoun Gorillas. You know what I'm saying? Pull up that picture, throw it in the thumbnail, little tablet shit on the app, expand it, then throw my face on top of it. Then whatever caption I got, that's it. You know what I mean? Now if that's for reactions. Now when it comes to like if you're doing podcasts, I can't say I can help you out, because I'm still figuring that shit out myself right now. Like my thumbnail is my couch, and then it's like a blown up picture of myself and whoever I got on the couch at the time and shit, which ain't the best, but it's a starter for what I got going on. You know what I mean? So I can't help you too much with the podcast thumbnail, to be honest with you. But if you got reaction thumbnails, that's a start, and that'll get you going, obviously. And once again, I'm saying this as somebody whose thumbnails ain't the best, but they've improved and been better over time.
the thumb? I said we were done, but I've done got a bunch of questions. Uh, the thumbnails. Do they really matter?
I would say so, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, because the thumbnail is what's gonna get people to click on your shit. So they might matter more than anything, because people ain't reading people ain't reading these days. You know what I'm saying? People are seeing and being attracted to what they see. So if they see a thumbnail that's fly or whatever that captures the eye, which is the thumbnail in general, the thumbnail matters in that regard because it's what catches the eye. It ain't what you said in your caption. It ain't what you said on the thumbnail caption. It's how it looked. You know what I'm saying? And aesthetically, if it's capturing the eye, then people gonna click on it, and then the rest will do itself. So yeah, thumbnails matter, bro. I would say that thumbnails definitely
Uh,
matter.
sorry, I keep thinking of more questions. Uh, the like captions. What are like the best thing? Like, what do you put in the captions? Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, what do you put in your title and your header? Whatever you're feeling, whatever, like, you just get creative. There's no rhyme, reason, or right or wrong way to put it. Just make sure
Yeah.
only wrong way is if it's over 100 characters or whatever. But outside of what you're saying, just keep it short and sweet. Yeah, I mean, ain't much behind it. It's just more about that how you present it. So it's like artist, song title, then like your whatever your caption is, because then that's how, when people are looking like react. It goes back to, once again, if it's a reaction, you know what I'm saying, you want to have the song, the artist, the song, and then whatever your shit is after, and then reaction, you know what I'm saying, in the header. Because when people look up the song, they're gonna, look up Adam Calhoun Gorillas, and then, reaction might come after, but Adam Calhoun Gorillas, and then how YouTube be operating based off however that person's search engine is, it'll pull up all the reactions underneath the Adam Calhoun Gorilla song. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I forgot. Sorry, but I guess that, yeah. Now I guess that's it. Oh no, and another thing. When I'm gonna when this live is over, I gotta wait 24 hours, but I'm going to download it to my tablet and do some editing, like edit it out some of the questions I asked you in your response and post them on my video YouTube. Uh, I'll probably send them to you. You can do whatever you want with them.
All right. Yeah. Once again, whatever you're doing with it, it's all good with me. I ain't got no stripe on it. I ain't gonna give you no copyright claims, man. You good?
Oh yeah, don't give me on that copyright.
Yeah, I won't strike you at nothing, bro.
Yeah, that copyright stuff. I think it's too much.
I mean, like I said earlier, for me, man, it's like I get it, but I'm also like, yo, we are listening to other motherfucking shit, and like, yeah, we adding our 20 minutes of commentary on it, but you're still playing the original, and that's why, once again, it goes back to like, I don't got all the answers, and I don't fully understand that situation for me to have like a dog in the fight, because I'm not experiencing what everybody else is experiencing, and based off the conversations that have been being had, and based off of how I've seen people make their videos, me listening tells me that everybody who has disputed every single video that they've ever tried to dispute and put a claim into, they're getting the get back on that. Is it fair? No, I don't think it is. But the common denominator for me sounds like anybody who has been putting in the claims and fighting the monetization part of their videos have been getting struck on, and that's something that I'm just waiting for people to speak on, and then I can have a real conversation, because I'm like, I ask these questions and then I just get, I don't knows, and I'm like, well, I'm listening to what everybody's saying, and it sounds like everybody who's openly saying that they're disputing these claims and all this, they're getting the strikes. I ain't somebody who, I got 1,000 videos out, right? And I've done damn near the same reactions as everybody else out there, you know what I'm saying? Because the reactors that I am attracted to would be the wrong word, but the reactors that I flock towards, you know what I'm saying, listen to the same music I listen to. And I don't have those issues, because once I get that red money sign or whatever they saying that it is, I be leaving it alone. And that's the only thing that I can say from my experience, that I've left it alone, and I don't get them telling me to take it down. I don't get them telling me that I can't have the video up no more. And I check my emails all the time, because once again, they're constantly giving you notifications about things. I've even seen videos that I have monetized get demonetized, if that's the word. And I just be like, I bet. Because for me, I'm like, this shit ain't mine. Like, that's really to make it simple. I'm like, what I'm reacting to isn't mine. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody else's that's owned by somebody else that somebody else now says no, you can't do this to. That's my way of thinking of it. Fair use acts, all that, cool. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even somebody who can say that I fully even understand that. And I can probably tell you a lot of people probably don't fully understand that either. They're just using it as a safeguard because that's why the fuck I use it too. So
Yeah,
it just goes back to like the copyright thing. I get it, and I see why people want to fight for it. It goes back to like what you said too. Like a lot of people have this being their full time and their livelihood, so you got to fight for it because if that's something that you don't fight for, it stops everything. You know what I'm saying? So like I am behind the people and the creators of it, but I'm also on the fence of being like I don't know the full story about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the full um legalities of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. There's a lot of unknowns versus it's emotionally driven and people feel like it's unfair. So I'm just waiting to see how it's gonna go. I know things are changing because even when I post my reactions, like I don't feel like I get as much views on them as much as of now as of lately, which I'm not complaining about. I'm just like, all right, there's something going on there because I'm just like the same artists that I react to, like all of a sudden they just not getting shown anymore, or people ain't clicking them. So something's happening, but am I complaining about it? Not, and that's why also, I do my podcast shit. I've also said even in my last live, because I haven't lived in a while either, because I just don't understand how the game's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not trying to. Once again, I don't try to get involved with shit if I don't understand. So I haven't lived in since the last time I went live, but I'm just like, hey,
yeah. Uh, like the copyright stuff. Sometimes, like I was talking about me and my cousin having a channel. Sometimes my cousin will come over and me and him will go live on. He'll go live on his channel. I'll go live on mine, and we just want to sit there and listen to music, but we can't make them public because of copyright.
right. I mean, you can make them public on YouTube. You can make them public. You just can't get paid off of it.
No, won't the copyright hurt your channel though?
So you get copyright restrictions every time you post. That's why once again, that's why I'd be a little confused on a lot of the things because you get every video that you're gonna do with somebody else's music, you're getting a copyright claim on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the only thing is whether or not you're gonna share the revenue or not. So each video you put is copyrighted. It's either blocked in some places, blocked globally. Like there's all this other shit and that's once again for me. I'm confused because it tells you on your studio, it tells you throughout what the video is gonna do, but it also says you can still post it, you can still use it. You just ain't gonna get no money off of it, and it might be blocked in a lot of different countries.
But won't it affect your YouTube if you get copyright so many times?
Wait, say that again.
Won't it like affect your channel if you get copyright so many times?
I mean, it depends on what you do after they tell you. Like, once again, I even answer this from a place where I'm like, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I've had copyright restrictions and everything on every video. I just haven't disputed anything. And the main thing is, it sounds like if you try to dispute it, you run the risk of that because they tell you when they say that there's a copyright claim on it, they even tell you can still post a video and it doesn't affect your channel. I think to answer your question, simply, it tells you within the fine print and in the rules when you post it. It's like, yeah, there's a copyright on this video, but it's not affecting your channel, and you can still post the video. It's just that you can't monetize the video. That's really and that's where I'm like, are people fighting for the monetization piece of it, or what? Because if you're fighting for the monetization piece with it, good luck. That's just my opinion. Good luck because like some ones are gonna get monetized and some aren't.
Yeah. So when I post some videos, and it says copyright, sometimes it'll just say copyright, and sometimes it'll have like a orange triangle and says copyright beside
It says what now?
it. It would have like a orange triangle, and then it would say copyright beside it.
Yep.
Some of them, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it just says copyright. What's the difference? Like,
Because the orange one, I think it gives you, it's like ad suitability because it still allows you some form of monetization, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't have it in front of me. But each one, it's just one of those you just have to read what each thing means because it gives you the option to be like, what does this mean? Because you can click on it, it tells you what it means. That's why for me, I'm not clear on what exactly is going on because I'm like the things that YouTube Studio and all that tells you, it kind of lets you know what it's doing for you. You know what I mean? Like it tells you what's happening. It doesn't blindside you. It only blindsides you, in my opinion, is if you start trying to dispute the claims and try to fight it and all this other stuff. Which once again, I'm not. Go ahead if you want to fight and get your buck, get it. That you know what I'm saying? Because once again, that's. But I think the back end is that people aren't understanding the consequences behind it. Because if you're telling me you got 25 plus videos where they're coming back for you, I'm like, is that because you try to dispute every single one? And then even with that, you have some people who are connected with the artist or cool with the artist and their team and stuff. Because I've gotten this, and this is where I get confused too. Because I'm like, all right, are these videos where the artist and whoever you're dealing with tells you email this person's team, and then they'll email the label and all this other stuff that it sounds good to me, but I'm not ever doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just the results sound like what we're seeing now with certain channels. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like the back result of it.
Yeah.
But that's just me on the outside looking in. I'm also very new to this. So I don't say this with conviction. I just say this with observation.
So I sent you this. I sent Dama this thing the other day, and it's like this guy. He was ranting about what was going on with YouTube, with all the podcast, with all the reactors and stuff. What's your? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know which one specifically you're talking about, but if it's from Cliff Beats or whoever, then I probably do.
Uh, I'm pretty sure it is Clickbeat or what you just said.
Yeah, if it's Cliff Beats, I already know what it is. And yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Oh, I just gave it. That was what my whole rant was about just now, was basically all of that.
Yeah. I just don't get sometimes how YouTube is.
And I don't think a lot of people do, to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of us do because we don't. I mean, a lot of people aren't reading the fine print. A lot of people aren't reading what's really going on. It's a lot of like he said, she said, and like nobody's going to research on their, or not nobody, but people aren't going to research on their own. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that we have to be aware of and pay attention as well too. We're in a place in the world where people tell you something, but it might not be accurate. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to like, once again, I'm not saying that what they're going through is bullshit or false. It goes back to like, I think there's a lot of things that just aren't being answered, and a lot of being reactive. It goes back to what you asked me earlier, like what have I learned? And it goes back to, like I said, I learned not to be reactive off of stuff like this because one, there's not a full story. Two, there's not a full understanding. Because I'm a person that's gonna ask questions, and I've asked questions and nobody got the answers, dog. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I'm asking questions that in my mind make sense to what we're fighting for, what we're standing on, but nobody got the answers, then I'm not gonna fully just be jumping on board with everything. And then if I hear people saying that they put out they've disputed X amount of videos, and then they're saying that now they got 20 something plus strikes against their channel, and I've heard multiple people be like, well, I've disputed X, Y, and Z, then it makes me question, what are we really fighting for?
Yeah.
Because it's not being clear to me. Because now it sounds like you're disputing things that, like I've said in my live, I'm like, it sounds like certain like folks may be upset that they can't get these videos monetized because they may be connected to such and such artist or such and such team. So they're like, how come I can't get monetized because I know this person? And then when they're not able to get monetized, it turns into this. Like, once again, that's just me observing from the outside looking in and listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm not emotionally driven off of it because, one, I'm not in the status that they're in. You know what I'm saying as well. I'm little old B2 on the couch. It goes back to that. And I'm also, it goes back to I'm not experiencing that stuff, but I posted the same videos. But I've never, and I can tell you, I've never disputed or put a claim on any of the videos. That's the only difference between me and everybody else that's maybe experiencing it.
Do you think they'll ever fix the copyright stuff?
Yeah, they'll fix it to where they're able to do what they're doing right now. They're gonna change the rules. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be for the better. It's not gonna be for reaction channels. And that's me being honest about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, but I'm like, whatever is happening and changing, it won't end. Like, here's my thing. Whatever Cliff and them is saying, you know what I'm saying, out there, and like, once again, big fight for them. And once again, too, I asked this, I'm like, all right, like, what are the other reaction channels saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another question I've been asking. I'm like, there's only been a handful of reaction channels that have actually like spoken on the situation, where to me it's like either they don't care, it's not affecting them, or they're not putting themselves in that position, or they're not experiencing it. Because if it's something that's that big, then I feel like a lot more people as a collective would be talking about this and experiencing it. But it's only a handful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've only seen Knox bring it up a few times. I've seen Cliff bring it up a bunch of times. And no offense to Cliff, I always feel like Cliff is always saying that his channel is going to get deleted or something, and then he's back the next day all the whole time posting videos. So like, I don't know how much stock I put into it, and that's not even a knock against it. It's just that I've watched his videos enough to be in a position where I've seen him say these things, and then nothing's happened to his channel. So I don't know what angle, as a collective, people are getting at with this. Maybe it's a game to try to get some bread or get an input into it. Which, once again, I am not knocking. I'm here for it because I'm involved in the same community, the same party. But there's just certain things and certain practices for me on the outside looking in. I'm just like, I don't know if this really feels as like genuine as it feels. It feels a little bit like bigger than a program-ish to me, but that's just me. Because once again, it goes back to I haven't experienced these things with the 1,000 videos that I've posted. So,
well, I guess that now this time I'm sure
that was that. We're gonna end it on my UMG rant.
Yeah.
That's a good way to conclude it. I ain't mad at it, man.
Well, thanks for coming up, and
I appreciate you having me on, man. I appreciate putting a face to it finally now too. I mean, I've seen your face over the last week or so, obviously, but I always like to see who I'm always chatting or engaging with, man. So I appreciate you having me on, dog. I'll definitely be on with 2 Girls 1 Pod and stuff like that soon, whenever they want to have me on when I'm awake and shit. So it was definitely an honor for being a reactor guest on the channel, bro.
Yeah. And I know you have to be invited, but I would love to come on Couch Potato.
You like to be a couch potato, man? Yeah, man. I mean, shit, dog. We can definitely chop it up again, and maybe I'll bring some country questions to you, man, and we can figure that out, man, on the side. We can definitely figure that out on the side, bro.
Yeah. Well, see you later.
Yo, it's been real. Have a good rest of the week, dog. You in Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yo, have some of that good barbecue and them good steakhouses down there, dog. Go to Oak Steakhouse. It's off of Broadway. Over in Nashville. I don't know where you at in Tennessee, but over in Nashville.
I'm about an hour from Nashville.
Okay, it's worth the drive then, dog. It's worth the drive.
Yep.